Last week we read Parashat lecha. That parasha it ended with the story of Aaron and Miriam, how they talked about Moshe and how Miriam was punished. And it is very important chapter in the Torah because there is a mitzvah. We have either 6 or 10 zechirot, 10 things that we have to remember on daily basis. In both of them, Miriam the story of Miriam is one of them because she talked Lashon Hara. And in that part, in that parasha, it says that והאיש משה עניו מאוד בכל האדם אשר על פני האדמה, that Moshe was עניו. We translate it traditionally as humble from everyone on earth. In the Shabbat, coming Shabbat, we are going to read Parashat Shelach lecha. It talks, part of it talks about the spies, and when they came back, they were giving the report, and it was disastrous report, as we know. And they started there, but by describing to Moshe how they felt, ונהי בעינינו כחגבים, וכן היינו בעיניהם, that we looked at ourselves like grasshoppers. We looked down, we looked really small. And Rashi said that he said that we heard people saying that they were like nemalim, like ants in the fields. This is how they looked at us. So now here on one end we have humility that usually is considered as virtue, like Moshe Rabbeinu, and there is on the other hand low self-esteem. And I would like to devote the next few minutes to talk about the difference between humility and low self-esteem. Probably the most succinct definition of that was coined by C.S. Lewis, Clyde Staples Lewis, who is a novelist, and in fact he was theologian, British theologian in the last century. He said that humility is not thinking less of yourself, but it is thinking of yourself less. That puts really to rest the difference between both of them. That the humble person, he doesn't have low self-esteem, as it is implied by traditionally by the word humble. It means that he thinks very highly of himself. However, he defers himself to others. He put the other one in front of him. And we would like to elaborate on that. The most, number one, how can we see that it is correct? That humbleness does not mean looking down at yourself. The first one is that the place of where the Torah described that Moshe was humble is in the middle of that story, that he took a wife that was very beautiful, but he left her because they overheard her that when Moshe was told that that they were prophesying. They overheard Zipporah, the wife of Moshe, that I feel sorry for their wives because their husband are going to leave them just like my husband Moshe left me. So the truth is, to describe Moshe as Anav here is not the proper way. Number two, is really Moshe that naive, that simple to think of himself that small? We do know that he accomplished so much physically from the story when he met his wife Zipporah, that he fought all the other shepherds and he pushed the stone and he helped her first, and that's how Yitro, his father-in-law, asked him, how come you came late? And they told him that Ish Mitzri, that he saved us. Also, he was general. He already waged war against Amalek with Yoshua. And also, we do know later on, he was the general, the commander-in-chief with the war against Sihon and Og. And most importantly, spiritually, this is a person, a Navi, that he talked to Hashem panim el panim. He brought the Torah from Hashem. He learned with Hashem 40 yom و40 layla. That so we can see that he is fantastic. It is impossible that Moshe thinks of himself that I am nothing. Everyone is better than me. It's impossible. So this is one story. The other thing is in Masechet Sotah, and both these ideas I took them from Rabbi Norman Lamb, who was the chancellor of Yeshiva University. He mentioned also that in Sotah there is a statement. I think my son told me that it is a Mishnah that when Rabbi passed away, Rabbi Yodan, the one who wrote the Mishnah, that there was no more Anava and no more Yirat Het. And then Rabbi Yosef, he said, "You saying that there is no more Anava? I am here," meaning that he is Anav. And Rabbi Ahmed said, "You say that there is no more Yirat Het, that fear of sin. I am here." So now for somebody to boast that he is humble, or to boast that he is Yerechet, he fears from sinning, is by itself oxymoron. I mean, if you are saying that means that you are really arrogant. You're not humble. You're boasting that way. So really, what is the answer to that? And he introduced that the idea of Anava from the Netziv. Naftali Tzvi Berlin, who was head of the Volozhin yeshiva. Incidentally, I visited that yeshiva. It is in Belarus. It's only 1 hour from Minsk, the capital, and it is an hour away. It is smack in the middle between Minsk and Radin. Radin is where the kever of the Hafetz Chaim is. And it is being renovated. The Volozhin, hopefully one day there will be indeed yeshiva there, that for the people in Belarus and for people in general. He did say that Anava really doesn't mean self-deprecation, that who am I am nothing, afar va'efer. No, just the opposite. It means that with full appreciation of who am I'm not arrogant. I am not any better than anyone else. The meekness, this is what he translated Anav, means that I do appreciate that what I have in terms of intelligence or talents are gifts from Hashem, and I recognize that these are gifts. There are people who are tall, who are physically fit. There are people who are beautiful. A woman that is beautiful. Will be stupid for her, and it is simply naive on her part to boast about her beauty. It's very, very difficult not to, but this is gift from Hashem. The talents and the intelligence are also gifts from Hashem. A meek person will appreciate that. He will also accept people the way they are. He recognized that each one of us, Hashem, gave him certain gifts, as we always mention that the one of the names of the neshama is Yahida. Yahida means unique. There is no two people that they have the exact same spirit, the same neshama, any other, even identical twins. They don't have that. So the meek is because he has significant esteem of his talents and of his worth. He will be able. He can translate that in a tangible way to certain behavior that will give kavod to him, and it will give grace to him. The Torah said la'anavim that they will have hen. And as a matter of fact, I do know from in medical school, the very capable professors who are really the best in their field, both in Syria and in the United States. I did my training in Albert Einstein, where they were in both places, they have very, very intelligent people. You'll see that those who are at very high level, they are the most anavim, the most meek. Yes, you say something, he will put his arm around your arms and he will tell you, really, why did you think so? I mean, what are the things that will support your idea, and do you think that could be something else? With tremendous respect, and you can see that just like we just read in Birkei Avot, that they are open. They never cease growing from everyone, even from the student, from first year medical school or first year resident. But however, on the other hand, those who are arrogant, who don't know their stuff, they are the most arrogant, and they try to put people down. This is the stupidest idea. We see that in business also. We like, for example, we say that they talk about Jack Welch, who was the chairman of GE, who at one point they bought a financial institution, Kidder Peabody. I still remember it, even though it was in the early 80s or mid 80s. He bought 80% stake in that company, and at that time $600 million. Today it's worth a couple of $1 billion. It was worth zero. And he did say, when he talked to his people, he said that, I did a mistake. I spent $600 million by Kidder Peabody, and I lost it. You need to take also the chance. You never know. If you don't take chance, you don't get it. We can see here the people who are self-confident. They can say that we are humans. We are not above you. We do a mistake. We are not. No one is perfect. We are not perfect. However, so we can see. However, on the other hand, the one with low self-esteem is just the opposite. When you challenge him, he will blow up. He will not have the self-restraint that the person with meekness does have. And we, according to Rabbi Dr. Twersky, Abraham Twersky, who is the medical director of psychiatric hospital at the University of Pittsburgh, he was asked, and this is a very well-known story, that where did you find time to write 50 books in addition to running practice and to be pulpit rabbi and listen to all the complaints of your community? He said, the truth is, I wrote only one book, and that book is about low self-esteem. All the other 49 books are different aspect and different perspective of the same problem, low self-esteem. In fact, he did say that low self-esteem is the source of all psychiatric problems, from depression to anxiety to post-traumatic stress disorder and so on and so forth. And he did say that he himself had this problem, and you can see how much he accomplished in his life. Still, he had this problem. And we do know also that this is in the Torah, for example. We have several examples. We read not long time ago, when Aaron wanted to come to Moshe, told him, he told him, why you are shy, why you are hesitating? This is your job, this is your mission, that you have to come and do the Korban on the first day of the dedication of the Mishkan. And more dramatic example is the story of Shaul when he waged war against the Amalek, and then he came to Shmuel al-Navi, the prophet Shmuel, and the night before he told him, Hashem Kabiyachol, he said, I nihamti, I did a mistake that I put Shaul king because he didn't do what I wanted. And so he told him, I did what you wanted me to do, and waged a war, and we annihilated them. He told him, what those, I can hear the voice of sheep and cows, what are they? He told him that the people wanted to keep them to do korbanot. He told him, هلو إن كنتم أتبع نيكا روش إسرائيل روش بتاع إسرائيل أتا. He told him that if you feel small about yourself, that you listen to the people, that we need to keep them, and you kept Agag, and as a result of that, the Midrash say that night he impregnated a lady, and from their descendant Haman came. You are a king. How do you listen to the other people? Contrast that with Moshe. Moshe, when he saw that fiasco and the ruckus that they were doing when they were worshipping the golden calf, he broke the luchot. Big difference. He said, I have nothing to do with that. So we can see the difference between somebody who has low self-esteem, Shaul, and as a result of that he lost his kingdom, and the difference between Moshe, that at the end of Zav said, Lo kam Moshe Nabi Israel, Asher Hashem Panim El Panim. We can see the difference. So, as a matter of fact, somebody cannot be meek, and the difference is so staggering that somebody cannot be meek and cannot be really humble. And the difference between meekness and humility is that meekness usually is translated to action. Like, for example, if somebody insulted somebody who is meek, who knows who he is, who knows his talent, he knows his value, he won't answer. He will say, okay. And that can explain why the Torah mentioned out of all the places, in that story of Miriam and the Haron, said that he is Anav Me'od, Mikol Adam Asher al Pnei Adama. He said, you know what, I know what I'm doing. I know that because of the relationship that I have with Hashem, that he can appear to me anytime. I shouldn't be with my wife. And more than likely, he did say, the truth is, I really feel very sorry for my wife, but I really can't help it. My calling is to be Nabi Israel. And forgive me, I feel really, really sorry for you. I don't know what to tell you. More than likely, somebody like Moshe is saying that in his heart. Not the other. So in other words, cannot be humble except if he has very, very high self-esteem. In fact, the Rabbi Twersky also said that how can anyone be arrogant who is far away if we all realize that we come here on earth and we live for a certain amount of years, hopefully 120, and we accomplish 2%, maybe 3% of our potentials. And he said, but if somebody look at how much he accomplished compared to his potential, how can anyone be humble and meek? Also, that can explain the passage of Gebarat Sota, that Rabbi Yosef, there is no difference if we translate as meekness, that, you know what, I am also meek. I am telling you the way it is. I know myself. I know the virtue. If somebody insults me, I won't return it to him if I don't have to. If I have to, I will. Look at Moshe in the Banyan of Korah. When he had to be stern, he was very, very stern. When the Jewish people tried to stray outside the right way, he knows how to keep them on the right track, very strongly and very sternly. This is somebody who is meek. On Rabbi Nachman Gamken, he also, that he was Yerechet, he knows himself. He had to say, this is statement of the fact. So I hope that, and we can learn this not only from Moshe Rabbeinu, we can learn it from Hashem. Whenever we see that Hashem is great, this is where we see also his meekness, his anava. That he is with the lowly, and not in any physical or spiritual way, but those who people treat them not nicely. he instead of going to the Himalaya, he gave the Torah on Har Sinai. Incidentally, I was also in the desert of Sinai, and Har Sinai, where the tradition is that this is the mountain on which they gave the Torah. It is really it's standing amongst two other mountains, and it is the lowest one. However, it looked the most prestigious, the most dignified one. The way it is shaped, it is the absolute best. When he wanted to show himself to Moshe Rabbeinu, he didn't find an acacia tree, high tree that is green. He was to the Sinai. This is how Hashem. So we hope that we learn the meekness and the humility from both Moshe Rabbeinu and Hashem. We hope that we'll mature enough that we will digest that, and if somebody insults us, we have to have self-restraint. We have million stories from the Talmud and from Torah for people who did that, and Hashem did promise them the best reward. So hopefully we will grow with these lessons that we talked about today. Shabbat Shalom.